Our next speaker is Chrys Bertolloto. She hails from Snohomish County, has been a coordinator of volunteers with the beach washer community up there in the Washington State University Extension Program. She was on the Marine Resources Council of Snohomish County. She's been active with the Northwest Straits Foundation. I read that she's done seal sitters before. So she has been all over the place, and I think she said this is going to be her slide.
Yeah. Yay.
Hello, everyone. I want you to just imagine lightning, and we've got this great picture that was placed here. Knowledge is much like lightning. Sometimes when lightning strikes, it leaves a mark for all of us to see. Other times when it strikes, it can cause a cascading chain of effects. There are times when lightning strikes that we may never actually know that it's been there. I want to talk to you a little bit about a proposal to capture and expand upon the diffuse knowledge held by those of us who are very interested in engaging citizens working towards Puget Sound environmental recovery. I'm going to talk with you about creating a community of practice focused on cultivating a deeply held and sustaining environmental stewardship ethic. Communities of practice are groups of people who share a concern, a set of problems, or a common passion, and are really committed to deepening their own personal knowledge and experience by interacting on an ongoing basis. If you think about the times that we've learned the most, often it's with conversation and dialogue with other people. They are often practitioners who delve into research very deeply, and they test it out in the field immediately. That's the unique part of a community of practice, is it's very grounded in action. These communities of practice can actually link practitioners with researchers and policymakers to analyze and explore problems and possible solutions. They're a way to construct new knowledge through shared learning, reflection, and on-the-ground experience. They're very fluid. They can be convened by anyone, and they're shaped by the people who are part of that community of practice. We all know that the Salish Sea is a landscape full of bounty and beauty, and at the aquarium you can see that. We also know it faces tremendous environmental threats. Achieving a future that goes beyond just meeting the ecosystem needs of future generations is a huge task. There will be no way for us to achieve this work and to get it all done by paying people through salaries and contracts and perhaps private incentives, as we really need a citizenry that lives according to environmental stewardship ethic, and that's really a necessary part of the future to achieve it. At the same time, most of us will agree with this statement that citizen involvement and engagement is very important, but a lot of us that are working on the front lines with the community are actually disconnected from one another. We often are learning on the go. We always have very full workloads, just like probably everyone else in this room. Each person is learning and testing, often without a chance to process the lessons that come through our experiences, and certainly without a chance to share them. Salish Sea researchers and community organizers both are working towards the same goal, but don't often mix in the same circles or at the same conferences. The forum that COSEE has given us to interact with one another is going to be disappearing, and that's really a challenge. It's really too long to wait for every 2 years when the Salish Sea Ecosystem Conference is happening to have these groups work together in a meaningful way. A community of practice for those who want to cultivate stewardship around Puget Sound allows us to tap into the individual wisdom that each of us holds. It allows us to provide a forum that encourages pausing, which not everyone does, and really thinking beyond the next project or the next grant or the next moment or the next deadline. It allows the Puget Sound conservation community to turn big dreams into reality, and to do that by taking innovative leaps and supporting one another and testing these ideas out in the field. It will build the capacity of the stewardship community to do that which needs to be done in a really meaningful and effective way. It'll allow us to learn from our successes and our mistakes, which we all know we have, and also to do that through the work of our peers. It reminds us that we're not working alone. And I think sometimes when you hear these different talks, it's easy to forget that we're all working together. It has taken generations for Puget Sound environmental health to decline to where we stand right now. It will take the active engagement of researchers, practitioners, policymakers, and citizens to create a future with clean water, abundant and healthy wildlife, and natural places all around us. If anyone is kind of intrigued by the idea of a community of practice and curious to know more, I did bring some resources with me, and I'm very interested in convening this type of community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chrys.